Yes. Where it all began. That damned name. Demogorgon. Beneath the roots of Yggdrasil, below the halls of Pluto, beyond the gnashing outer darkness, ÜAELNOSQUE, the world without skies, that which lay beneath all things, the threefold realm from which none return. Tonight we will descend, and what will become of us, none may foretell. Welcome, my friends. I commend you for making it this far into the dark. On this eve, we have but one purpose, but to illumine what is contained within the world without skies, Grey Orphan Edition, included with your pledge to the Epic of Dreams Basilisk Edition. Let our business commence. Truly, in order to describe what will become, it must be shown and never told. May you have discernment. May you have wisdom. And may you have luck in the weird realms. The sorcerer peered into the umbral eye before him. The gate was darker than the rite had described it. As a solid slab of onyx, so appeared the world within. So this was the abyssal Demogorgon's abode? Bewildering. When the cant had been completed, all candles lit to vex the twilight were thence strangled. Mother Moon, once full of her cool, quiet night, had similarly vanished at the port's arrival. Truly, the night now felt as a midsummer's day. There were several reasons the initiate had brought the portal to ÜAELNOSQUE before him. The transcriptions found in the vellum were of a language unfamiliar to all else he had come across, and for the sake of his mentor's ghost and his own mortal mania, it needed to be deciphered. When the symbols finally began to make sense, the tales which they told made the cruel commands of the ceremony weightless. Thoughtlessly they were heeded. The world without skies was a land where a man may lay hidden in the shadow and never taste the bounds of mortal death. A place where the names of all spirits above and under each and every world may become known. A realm which lay beneath all other realms. A dearthy kingdom with the privilege of viewing all worlds at once. A bazaar of grimoires of a multitude of alien lands. There was simply too much to explore, too many names to master. The Baron Meddler couldn't resist its call, and so it called to him. Inhaling what may have been his last breath, the cunning apprentice let himself become enveloped by the jealous darker-than-all eye, and became known within the Demogorgon's realm. Inside its belly, none became lighter than the scene before. But there, trembling inside of this cavernous labyrinth, the young wizard stood, not seeing, but feeling about him innumerable eyes, ancient, knowing, carnivorous. In all directions they peered, piercing through his naked soul. In this moment he knew he was a minnow among whales. In this moment he turned back to the scene on the other side, a temple midst the forest, the moon flickering with love in the midnight. He rushed then, fighting to return, but the door which brought him would not open to neither his cries, his angers, nor his forces. Thence appeared the white spearman, and away he was taken, a wanderer in shackles, into the curious tunnels of the world without skies. The world without skies is a primordial underrealm of spirit. It has many portals to many worlds above, and through these planes many things come through and experience the dark samsara that mirrors that which is woven within the laws of our own universe, but it is kept within. The world without skies is an unending realm of chaos, where all is tunnel, chasm, cavern. There are many a door to those realms above, but they only go beneath and never back. You may find within the wilds of ÜAELNOSQUE many strange and marvelous things from many a place you may have never known. All may be found within, but again none may leave. Though the realm was once ruled by that named Demogorgon and his brood, his kin and kind, there have now arisen other powers in the deep, and they have challenged the vacuum that he left when he was stricken towards Earth. When the door was opened from Demogorgon's realm to our own, many splintered, fractured doors opened to our Gaia, and our worlds became linked. Among these powers now, where once only brutality and only cunning were the law of the land, now there are 3 forces, fractured into 10, that vie for control and hegemony over this land. These 10 powers, the Fathers, the Furnace King, the River King, the Fair King, the Sorrow King, the Mist King, Belorgon and his Symphony King, the True Queen, and Serapis, the Mother of Witches, have torn what was once primordial chaos into further mayhem and war. In each of these fractured kingdoms, there are those who seek to better themselves and those who seek to further the causes of their masters. Many more are those who seek just to survive, to regain that which was lost within their souls, to retain their sanity amidst the seas of impossibility that they find themselves in. You and yours are among the many wanderers and natives who have found themselves inside this foul, fey world. Within the world without skies can be found any tribe from any realm above, but noted within the Grey Orphan's book, there are found the Athlings, the Sprites, the Orphans, River Wights, Anathema, Geists, Stradivari, Forgelings, Red Wights, Witch Daughters, and Men. There are 12 playable tribes that you may know and play as in this realm. Likewise, there are 6 different magic skills. This is a very magical realm. In the book, there are over 100 different spells that your characters can learn. Among these are invocations, and all of these are true name magic, where you will invoke a character who lives within the realms, and they will help you. And their backstories are very nuanced, and you'll see on the screen here that they have a lot of them. Invokers are among the more sophisticated magicians, as it were. There's also Musecraft, and this is the power of song, which is employed mainly by the Stradivari and the Symphony King himself. But as you sing the songs, the echoes of the events that they speak of and the beings that they, boast of become real. And as this is a very spiritual realm, music is very powerful. The rational mind is not the default setting of this realm. It is not the nature that men know, nor any other creature, but rather a blend between the intuitive mind, the cracked mind, and the carnal. We also have what is known as low sorcery, which is a tradition which is just sown from many of the different wanderers that come there. There is almost a language of magic that comes from all of these eclectic different sources siphoned through into the samsara beneath. And many of these simpler spells are learned for survival. Then we have royal sorcery. This is a very potent but risky path of invocation where you are invoking the syllables of the true names of the regal powers themselves. If you are aligned to them and are operating under their name in a legal sort of setting, then you forego these risks. But as you call upon the power of their soul, the power of their crown, of their rod, etc., the royal shadows which grant them their imbued power against chaos and immortal strength rises against you as you blaspheme them. And the risk is great. But to do so is to wield their sword amidst the dark. We also have sprite craft. Fae themselves are ubiquitous in the world without skies, and they are indeed needed for survival. They enjoy a very specific sort of existence in the modeled chaos, as they are used as sentrymen, as informants, as protectors, and they are employed by creatures larger than themselves to protect them. And as such, their Fey magics are very useful for the many goings and plottings of those who try to traverse and find fairer lands to dwell in. Finally, there is witchcraft, but it is not as you may know it on Earth. Again, it is belonging to the tribe of the witch daughters. This is a curious magic that is taken from the souls of the texts that were burned within the library of Alexandria itself. The litanies and many things written upon the scrolls from which these daughters were inspired, their souls have sprung from these different sources. So too do you find their powers there. Additionally, the book has over 40 or 50 different monsters in it that are peculiar just to this realm. And amidst these we have the tardigrade, except it's the size of a bear. For example, I'll read you the Wheelherneem. The rabid bane of hope. The Wheelherneem is a many-legged hooved beast whose mouth is so large it can swallow wandering stars whole. It has no eyes, but wears large ears on both its head and rump, similar to a foul bat of the night. Its skin is oily, dark, and slick like a sickly toad. The Wheelherneem exists to eat fire, gold, silver, and metals of all form, gemstones, and light. It can never be sated, and has eaten as many a daring hero whose heart once bore both courage, light, and hope. Nothing is faster than the darkness of the Wheelherneem. In the world without skies, there are three sorts of delineations between creatures. There are the hidden, which bear a closer likeness to what may be regarded as a traditional ghost. There are the carnal, those who have a more brutish strength, who have more or less retained the aspects of their physical bodies. Then there are finally the buried, and these are diverse creatures who have passed on but have not fully passed on. So they are the third spoke in the dark samsara, from carnal to buried to hidden to carnal again. And as this takes place, many buried are bizarre, and their forms cannot be wholly understood, but some are reminiscent of the dead, others invertebrates, others still strange beings. The buried live inside of the ground itself. While there are 12 different races inside of the Grey Orphan's book, the main few are the Athlings, and these are albino, sort of elf-like creatures who have heterochromatic eyes, and they are royal blood. They come from the transmogrification they come from the blending of the blood between the two brothers, the River King and the Furnace King, and they were originally created to serve both brothers. However, some stuff happened. And we'll get into that when you read the books when it all comes out. But you know. But these are now submitted to the Father's grim will of order. They are called the Children of Civility. There's also the Fae. We call them sprites again. There are the orphans, those who have not and can never die, for they are as close to nothing as one may get. They are gray children who are eternally destitute, eternally hungry, without salvation. We also have the Wanderers, as we say. These are simply all foreigners who come into the world without skies. And we have witch daughters. These are the daughters of Serapis, the inflamed ghost of the Library of Alexandria and the temple of the same name. And they are the tendrils of her ire, the children of wonder. Their songs are unmatched, and their forms likewise. These serve to usurp the will of the fathers, as Serapis herself. The world without skies is an inherently spiritual realm. It is not a place whose physical laws are bound to our own. There you may find many a creature moving in ways that it should not, in more ordered places. Likewise, gravity is not the same here, nor do maps truly work, as the lands themselves may be considered alive. The geography is diverse and complex. There are mountains, there are buried lands, there are seas, gore lands, caverns, myriad tunnels. All of this was written in 2018, and this is actually the home of the Sagas. Originally, before I started writing RPG stuff, I was enamored with the genre of epic poetry. And, I mean, if you've watched any of my stuff before, then you probably know that, because I never shut up about it. But inside of this realm, this dark underbelly, this stage is where we have somewhat of a rock opera involving these 10 powers. And it will be my life's work, finishing the 33 epic poems, the 33 episodes that involve these powers. And these are the stories that I was born to tell. And with this book, I want to invite you to play inside of this realm, as I think you'll enjoy it very much. I've not done it justice. I've always had trouble trying to verbalize what the hell this little hellscape is. So I appreciate you being here. There is still time for you to get the Grey Orphan's book. It is included as a stretch goal in the Basilisk edition of the Epic of Dreams. It is a beta playtest zine. It will be in zine format. And after we print this little print run, we're not going to have it available until we start producing the actual book. That's probably 3 years away. So if you want to get in on the madness now, you can go to GameFound. The link is in my description, And if you're on Kickstarter, you can find the link below. But otherwise, this is a big spoiler, heavy spoiler for what's going to come. And now is really the only time you get in on it, because next year we're going to space instead. You guys, we're going to space in a boat. Wow. May you be blessed in all things. All of the content in here will basically just be what was written in 2018. I will add a little bit to it and make sure that it's like, you know, boom. I mean, honestly, once I get to it, I'm probably just going to obsess over it and put even more stuff in it. So all the more reason for you to go on GameFound and get yourself a copy of the Basilisk edition now, because when we go to producing and printing everything, that's when we're ending the GameFound late pledges. So get your late pledge now so you get in on this. And if I didn't show all of the art, now is where I'm showing the rest of the art. Boom. As we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our souls, there walks a lady we all know, who shines white light and wants to show how everything still turns to gold.